My name is Rachel Minshall. I am the Collision Center Manager at Soerens Ford, and I have been in the automotive industry for over 25 years. I was raised by a single mom for most of my early life, and then ended up with a phenomenal stepdad when I was about 14, 15 years old. But my mom has always instilled into me that I could always do anything I wanted to do. When it comes time to figuring out what you want to do the rest of your life, I knew that I didn't want to sit in a classroom for 4 or 6 years. I wanted to do something hands-on like everybody in my family did. We didn't really have a mechanic in our family at the time, and I thought, well, there'd be a good chance I could try to learn that. I could fix cars. I knew nothing. I didn't even know how to change my wiper blades when I signed up to go to school. I remember sitting in a room with 100 different guys, and I was the only girl in the classroom, to take this test even just to get into the class at that time. And I remember when they called me back and they said, about 30 of you made it, and you need to find a dealership to sponsor you. The problem was that I went to probably 10 different interviews and I couldn't get anybody to hire me because I was a girl, and they straight out said it. I was told, you might have to cut your hair, you will probably break a nail, aren't your parents disappointed in you that you want to do this type of work? Finally, my instructor said, why don't you try a dealership in Madison? They have a really great service manager there. So I went out there, and she happened to be a female, and she hired me on the spot. Finished out my apprenticeship working there, and then about 6 months after I graduated, my grandfather had a stroke, and I wanted to move back closer to home. And so I moved back home, and I got a job at Soerens Ford. I started by just changing oil, brakes, light maintenance, tires, things like that. And I did that for about 1.5 years. And then one day I was lifting a truck tire, and I heard a pop in my right wrist, and the tendon had popped over the bone. So I went into the doctors, and they finally said, you can't fix cars anymore. Your wrist will not hold up for it. You need to find something else to do. At the time, they had some changes up front, and they offered me a position as a service advisor. I was great at service writing. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I liked doing the dispatching and the warranties and just helping people, men, women, it doesn't matter, just helping them understand the process, because coming into a dealership or anywhere automotive is scary when you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a clue. That's not your thing, but that's my thing, and I can help you with that, and I can break it down for you and make it easy for you to understand. So when I took the reins of taking over the collision center, one of my main goals was to make sure that everyone was certified in doing the repairs properly, because there's so many that are not. And now we are at the top of our game for certification. We are a gold class shop, and we have been a gold class shop for years. All the technicians, including myself, take classes every year, multiple times a year, to make sure that we're certified and we're repairing every vehicle right every time. One of the most important things that I think I've done through my career is go to local high schools and show girls how to do just basic maintenance. Change their oil, check an air filter, change a tire, how to check their air pressure, etc. All those types of things, so they can feel confident whether they want to work on their own car or not, but they can feel confident going into somewhere. And I think that's important for women to feel, kind of empowered, to know, like, I'm not just, somebody that doesn't know anything. Don't assume just because I'm a woman I know nothing. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I try to instill in her the same type of thing that I share with all my customers. Just be a good person and to treat everybody the same way you'd want to be treated. I'm very proud to work at a company like Soerens Ford, because we are not only women-owned, but also I run our collision center. Our finance managers are all women. We have women service writers, and we encourage women to come into this business because it is a growing industry. Cars are not going anywhere. They're only getting more complicated and a bigger business than ever. We always encourage women here, and we help nurture and make them confident in being women in the automotive industry.